Hello, and welcome back. Today we have, playing through my Sega Genesis collection, number 13, Mortal Kombat. Developed and published by Midway, Mortal Kombat was an arcade fighting game released in 1992. A home console port, developed by Probe Software and published by Acclaim Entertainment, was released the following year on Mortal Monday for multiple platforms, including the Sega Genesis. Before starting, the game establishes a code of honor amongst the fighters in Mortal Kombat. However, this is actually a hint that there is more to discover via the use of cheat codes. The default gameplay does not feature any blood or fatalities, as the game's release was extremely controversial, leading to the formation of the ESRB for rating a game's content. But with the simple input of AB, AC, ABB, Mortal Kombat is restored to its intended form, full of blood, guts, and violence. Prior to selecting a fighter, the game provides some background information on the tournament and its champion, Goro. Goro lives. A 2,000-year-old half-human, half-dragon, Goro remains undefeated for the past 500 years. He won the title of Grand Champion by defeating Kung Lao, a Shaolin fighting monk. It was during this period that the tournament fell into Shang Tsung's hands and was corrupted. Now, the player can select from 7 different characters, as they battle through a series of 12 fights to become the new champion. The sequence of fights will be shown in the arcade ladder, where the player must win against each of the other 6 fighters, win a mirror match against themselves, win 3 endurance matches in which 2 opponents must be defeated back-to-back without health regeneration, win against the sub-boss Goro, and finally, take down the sorcerer, Shang Tsung. The goal of each fight is to deplete your opponent's health meter as quickly as possible while maintaining your own health to earn the most points. To damage your opponent, each fighter possesses the same basic moveset, with the ability to attack with a high punch, low punch, high kick, or low kick. These different attacks can be combined with directional inputs for added techniques, such as a jumping kick, a powerful roundhouse kick, a sneaky leg sweep, or a devastating uppercut. To avoid incoming strikes, the player can jump, duck, or block, but blocking will still take a small amount of damage. Adding to the same basic moveset, each fighter does have unique special moves. These require more complex input combinations, but result in iconic moves, such as Scorpion's Spear or Sub-Zero's Freeze. Deplete your opponent's health, and you will win the round. Win 2 out of 3 rounds, and victory is yours, with a final moment to finish off your defenseless opponent with one last strike. To satisfyingly annihilate your opposition with a particularly violent finisher, a fatality can be performed with a special quick combination of inputs. Each character has their own gruesome fatality, with the pit level adding its own that can only be accomplished when fighting on this stage. In between some matches, a special Test Your Might minigame will test your button mashing ability to earn some extra points, with increasingly difficult thresholds to overcome. Each of the 7 playable fighters has a unique reason for entering the tournament, and these details are briefly described prior to starting the game. After emerging victorious as Grand Champion, follow-up story details will be provided, but not all endings are canon. Liu Kang's ending is considered the true canon outcome of the tournament, but some elements from other endings are also considered canon, but it didn't become clear which until the sequel Mortal Kombat 2 was released. Now, here is some gameplay for each of the 7 available fighters. Liu Kang. Once a member of the super secret White Lotus Society, Liu Kang left the organization in order to represent Shaolin temples in the tournament. Kang is strong in his beliefs and despises Shang Tsung.
Fight! Fight! Excellent. Fight! Excellent. Fight! Finish him! Finish him!
After defeating the mighty Goro and putting an end to Shang Tsung's rule over the tournament, Liu Kang is able to return the contest to its rightful hosts, the Shaolin Temples. Liu Kang's heroics will always be remembered. He will continue the traditions of the Shaolin Temples and restore the true pride and respect of this once great tournament. Scorpion. Like Sub-Zero, Scorpion's true name and origin are not known. He has shown, from time to time, distrust and hatred towards Sub-Zero. Between ninjas, this is usually a sign of opposing clans.
Fight! Get over here! Finish him! Get over here! Get over here! Get over here! Get over here! Excellent.
Marked for death years ago by the Lin Kuei, Scorpion was murdered by Sub-Zero. He left behind a wife and child in his former life, but was allowed to return and avenge his death. Even with Scorpion's triumph in the tournament and new title as Grand Champion, the price he paid was high. He can never again know his family and must exist forever with his secret curse. Sub-Zero. The actual name or identity of this warrior is unknown. However, based on the markings of his uniform, it is believed he belongs to the Lin Kuei, a legendary clan of Chinese ninja.
Fight! Finish him. Finish him. Finish him.
After receiving the title of Grand Champion, Sub-Zero disappears back into the shadows from which he came. His only goal in the tournament was the assassination of Shang Tsung. He was paid a large sum of money by one of Shang Tsung's wealthy enemies. With his mission accomplished, Sub-Zero will collect his fortune and retire from his dangerous profession. Johnny Cage, a martial arts superstar trained by great masters from around the world, Cage uses his talents on the big screen. He is the current box office champ and star of such movies as Dragon Fist and Dragon Fist 2, as well as the award-winning Sudden Violence.
Fight. Finish him. Fight. Finish him.
Through the battles and life or death situations faced during the tournament, Johnny Cage learns the true importance of his fighting skills. He also realizes the full potential of the tournament. He returns to Hollywood after defending his new title as Grand Champion. Cage later goes on to film Mortal Kombat the movie and its many successful sequels. Kano. A mercenary, thug extortionist thief, Kano lives a life of crime and injustice. He is a devoted member of the Black Dragon, a dangerous group of cutthroat madmen, feared and respected throughout all of crime's inner circles.
Fight. Fight. Finish him.
With the defeat of Goro and Shang Tsung, Kano will bring his own brand of treachery to the tournament. His Black Dragon organization forms a monopoly over the contest that brings shame and torment to all those involved. Their reign will end in anarchy and death. It will result in the final dismantling of the tournament and the Battle of the Sans. Sonya. Sonya is a member of a top US Special Forces unit. Her team was hot on the trail of Kano's Black Dragon organization. They followed them to an uncharted island, where they were ambushed by Shang Tsung's personal army.
Fight. Finish him. Excellent. Finish him.
Captured by Shang Tsung, Sonya's Special Forces unit was taken hostage. Their only hope was the tournament. Shang Tsung promised to release the entire team, only if Sonya could win the contest. Her victory not only released her unit, but also put an end to the Black Dragon and Shang Tsung's powerful grip on the tournament. Raiden, spelled this time with a Y. The name Raiden is actually that of a deity known as the Thunder God. It is rumored he received a personal invitation by Shang Tsung himself, and took the form of a human to compete in the tournament.
Fight. Fight. Finish him.
Raiden's victory comes as no surprise to him. He was never impressed by Shang Tsung's inferior sorcery, Goro's brute force, or the challenge of the other contestants. He quickly becomes bored with his mortal competition, and soon invites other gods to participate in the contest. The ensuing battles rage on for years, and the wars result in our world's final destruction. Have a nice day. At times, throughout the arcade ladder, a mysterious green ninja, known as Reptile, will appear. While he is not a playable fighter, he is available as a secret opponent, and these appearances provide hints on how to reach him. To fight Reptile, there are very specific requirements that must be met. The first is that you must be on the stage, the pit. Once here, it is essential to look towards the moon to see if a strange silhouette creates a shadow across the moon itself. If this appears, it is possible to fight Reptile. If the silhouette does not appear, then you will have to wait until the next pit fight for another chance. If the shadow does appear, you then have to defeat your opponent with a double flawless victory and finish them with the character's fatality. If you take damage in the first round, you can purposely lose and get the double flawless in rounds 2 and 3, but you have to take no damage in 2 consecutive rounds, and you can't use the stage fatality. If you are able to meet these requirements, your reward is an extremely difficult battle against Reptile. Reptile possesses incredible speed with both Scorpion's spear and Sub-Zero's freeze special attacks. Winning the battle will reward you 10 million points, but unfortunately, I was no match for the far superior Reptile. If you struggle against Reptile, or any opponent, Mortal Kombat does have available cheat codes beyond the Blood Code. Within the cheat menu, you can preset the first map to any stage you want, make it so you take no damage, make your opponent lose after taking a single hit, provide yourself unlimited continues, or make it so the shadow always appears across the moon, just to name a few of the options. Mortal Kombat does have a wide variety of difficulty options to fit your skill level. The lower difficulties were beatable with practice, and as you improved, the higher difficulties were a real struggle, making it a nice mix of challenging yet fair. The endurance matches really tested your mastery of the selected fighter, as a simple victory was no longer enough, requiring both defensive and offensive efficiency to overcome both foes. By the time you get to the endurance matches though, you should be adequately prepared, having previously defeated each of the other fighters to get there. Personally, I found Goro as the roadblock to completing the arcade ladder on higher difficulties, as I could get through the regular and endurance fights on normal, but struggled against Goro, even on very easy. Goro immediately makes his presence felt as he interrupts your victory and begins the battle on the spot. Goro is fast, powerful, and hit with far-reaching grabs and projectiles. At times, he could be a bit cheap, providing little to no time for recovery or counterattacks, so I made sure to take advantage of the opportunity to return the favor. Certain attack patterns, such as the jumping stomp, were actually preferred, because it allowed for a follow-up uppercut, but others just saw Goro pummel your face over and over again, doing massive damage. Contrary to Goro, Shang Tsung was a significantly easier opponent and kind of a pushover. While he could morph into any other fighter, including Goro, he didn't possess the unrelenting offensive assault and speed that the sub-boss did. The frail, old sorcerer hid behind the powerful beast that was the Grand Champion, and when forced to do his own bidding, couldn't hold up. Mortal Kombat is the game that started an epic franchise that disrupted society, as crazed parents and government figures lost their minds over the carnage. Telling kids they couldn't play only made them want to more, making Mortal Kombat a massive commercial success both in the arcade and at home. The Blood Code, which the Super Nintendo version didn't have, made the Sega Genesis stand apart as the cool adult console of the generation. Putting the blood and guts aside though, Mortal Kombat is so much more than its violent reputation. The visuals were groundbreaking for the time, with digitized graphics of real-life people, making for an unbelievable experience. Combined with excellent, responsive, and smooth gameplay mechanics, Mortal Kombat made for a great fighting game. The 6-button controller setup helped bridge the gap between the arcade stick experience with an easier flow to inputs than the alternative 3-button controller. While each fighter had the same basic moveset, individual special moves blended the lines of reality, as gravity-defying flying kicks, fearsome fireballs, and turning opponents into a popsicle made for chaotic moments. Flowing between seemingly magical abilities and the brute force of an uppercut or roundhouse kick made Mortal Kombat the perfect blend of realistic martial arts and supernatural powers, allowing it to stand apart from other fighting games. With only 6 stages and 7 playable fighters, the variation was a bit limited when compared to later games in the series, but an additional secret opponent and level set the stage for future games to be shrouded in mystery and playground rumors. Although there were only 6, the different stages each had their own theme and progressed in a natural flow as the player got closer to Shang Tsung with each victory. Mortal Kombat is a must-play for any fan of fighting games, as it holds a special place in gaming history, and the genre today wouldn't be the same without it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time for playing through my Sega Genesis collection, number 14.